Okay, I'm back. Now we're getting into our stretches where we left off. Last time was um, just warm up and condition. So now we'll do stretches. Excuse me for looking a hot mess right now. Seriously, how embarrassing. Anyway, all right. So we're gonna go to the wall over here. Before I give you an example, you should know that every stretch that you are in, you should be sitting in for 20 to 30 seconds. I would suggest only 20 seconds when you first start, and then gradually going to 30. Eventually, you'll want to sit in certain stretches, like your splits when you get flat splits, for a minute. But we're just going for 20 to 30 seconds right now. So we're going to do a low lunge series, starting with a wall or a couch or a desk or anything you can prop your back leg to. We also did this at the firehouse as well, but you may have forgotten, which is totally fine. That's why I'm doing this. So you're going to go to the wall. Oh, and you always want to be lined up. So if you have yoga blocks, you can put them on either side so that you can prop yourself up. So you don't wobble and you don't lean. So one leg is going to come all the way on the wall. The other leg is going to come front. So if you needed the yoga blocks, here would be where you would want them. And you're just going to sink into this stretch. Hips are going forward. Back is flat and you're straight up. Okay. Hold for 20 seconds. Then you're going to transfer. So you're actually going to put your hands on this back wall. And you're going to bring your leg forward. Maybe bring your leg forward first. Okay. You want your hands placed against the wall. You're going to curl your shoulders forward and push back. So you're getting the stretch here. Now, you can also just lean back. It's the same thing, but it forces you to engage a little bit more if you curl and push. You're going to hold that for 20 seconds as well. After, you're going to take your lunge to a little deeper space and leave your hands on the wall. Come out and do the other side. Now, the two most important things in that stretch are the blocks on the other side, because you don't want to be slouchy. If you're slouchy, you're not going to receive the stretch in the proper place. And I mean, what's the point at that rate? Then the second is breath, just making sure to breathe. There isn't really much to that. I mean, you're going to feel it no matter what. If you don't, you're not going deep enough with your forward lunge. So you can go deeper and deeper. Eventually, you can get into your splits with your leg propped up against, and that's when you start to get into contortion split practice. So both sides on that. I would go twice. Right side, left side, right side, left side. After that, you're just going to lunge, but without the wall. And then move you again. This time you'll probably really need the yoga blocks because you have to stay completely straight, okay? This is not what I want. This is what I want because eventually back. So here, you're gonna hold this for the 20 seconds. Then, using your yoga blocks, you're gonna kick your back leg. Now, the kicking is strengthening the back muscles, conditioning that so that you, again, active flexibility. It's also making sure you're in a square split. If your leg goes to one side, then you're not square. If it goes completely straight in the back, then you are. Example. If you're here and your leg is kicking this way, that's not square. If it's kicking this way, like it's gonna kick your butt, it is. Okay. After the 10, you're gonna use your yoga blocks. Get them out of the way actually. Hands are gonna go on the side and you're gonna fold forward. I wouldn't go all the way to a sit yet, just to here, okay? So you're gonna flex your foot and reach like you're trying to eat your toe. You're gonna hold that for 10, point, and try to go a little deeper for 10. And then as with everything else, you're gonna, this shirt, sorry, it's really like making it difficult to do this. Do both sides, obviously. At that point, we're going to get into middle split stretching. So we have the wall stretch, then we have the low lunge with the kicks, okay? Take your time in these and do 2 rounds of each. Okay, so 2 rounds of the wall, 2 rounds of the low lunge kicks. Okay, now you're going to sit on your bum. One leg is going to fold, and the other one is going to rest ankle to knee, or higher if you can, but the idea is no lower than your knee here, okay? The further out that you bend this leg, the deeper the stretch you're gonna get here. So if you're here and you reach, you're gonna get a nice stretch, but if you're here and you reach, it's a little bit more difficult, okay? So I actually want you to do a series. So it's going to entail of here and reaching forward for 20, midway 20, and then out 20, okay, each side. When you, each time that you extend your leg, I want you to try to reach a little bit further out. And don't forget to breathe in this one. Now, your leg's not gonna be, your knee's not gonna be completely flat against the floor. That's okay. That's not gonna happen at all because it doesn't even happen for me. So it's just about getting the stretch here. After you do each side, the series, only run through that one time. And then I want you, at that point, after you've done all of those stretches, to try to go into a split jeans. So this is my best. You're gonna do your best split that you can and hold it for 30 seconds. To come out, don't roll out. I want your hands placed and come this way. Okay. Each side. So after you've done each side, then you can move on to middle splits. Middle split exercises suck, and you're not going to get any easier. For these, you're going to start in frog. You and I have both been in this position before. So now we're using it for the good use of more flexibility. So basically what's happening is you're going to be sitting like you're ready for Ryan Gosling. Okay, so you're opening and you're pushing back as if you're sitting in a chair. So here, and push back. This will give you a stretch, but not as much. You really want to push as if there's a chair, or again, Ryan Gosling. Okay. So with this one, the more that your legs, your feet are open, the more of a stretch you get. Okay, so I'm going to actually turn around and show you the difference. Okay, so you can see, you can start with your feet touching. That's going to be the easiest, and eventually you'll get into the final one, which will prep you for your middle split. It's going to be the most difficult, and actually I'm going to send you another video more about the positioning for that when I'm not in jeans, because there's kind of like a whole science that's going to be the rocking forward to middle splits, rocking back into a straddle. I'm going to do that for you later this weekend, but those kinds of stretches, I mean, they're important, you should do them now, but they're not something I think you're completely ready for yet, so don't worry too much. Just do the frog stretch to prep. You also can do that on a wall. So that's the second middle split stretch I want you to do for preparation, and I'll demonstrate it right now. So your bum is going to be pressed all the way against the wall. Your feet are going to step on the wall, so your knees are bent. Then pointed out. And your hands will go in between and press. So your hands, when they're in between your prayer hands, are actually, your elbows are pressing your thighs and placing pressure to open a little bit more. I would suggest doing it without socks because it gives you sort of a better grip on the wall, and it's easier. So that one I actually typically hold for about a minute, just because it's not that difficult to do. It actually feels quite nice. So do those, and then be expecting some more videos from me by the end of the weekend or early next week. I do want to know your progress though, so you can send me beginner and after photos or videos would be great. Okay, love you.